These are Europe's most dangerous roads built on cliff faces, and what makes them dangerous isn't always what you'd expect. Trollstigen in Norway has recorded 0 fatal driving accidents since opening in 1936, while the Amalfi Coast's SS 163, which thousands drive daily, ranks as the 5th most dangerous road in Italy's province of Salerno, with fatalities that continue to rise. In this video, we'll examine these roads, how they were built, and what the data reveals about the difference between perceived danger and actual risk. Trollstigen in Norway appears on nearly every list of the world's most dangerous roads, yet it has one of the safest driving records in Europe. Trollstigen translates to the Troll's Ladder, and it's a serpentine mountain road carved into the mountainside in Rauma municipality, western Norway. County Road 63 connects Åndalsnes to Valldal, and about 6 kilometers of hairpin section feature 11 named turns, each bearing the name of the foreman whose crew built it. Climbing roughly 675 meters with a maximum gradient between 9 and 10%, the road reaches somewhere between 852 and 858 meters at its highest point, depending on which source you consult. Single lane with passing places, it's approximately 1.5 lanes wide, and during peak season in 2012, it handled around 2,500 vehicles per day, growing to over 1.1 million visitors annually by 2019. Before Trollstigen existed, farmers used this route as a hiking trail and bridle path to reach annual markets. Work apparently began around 1916, but the main construction phase ran from 1928 to 1936. Workers built the entire road by hand, carving it into mountain rock or constructing it atop stone walls, using picks, shovels, and explosives. One team handled each hairpin bend. When workers completed the Stigfoss Bridge in 1935, it crossed the Stigfossen waterfall, which plunges 320 meters down the mountainside. July 31st, 1936, brought King Haakon VII to officially open the road. Despite narrow lanes clinging to cliff faces with 11 hairpin turns and drops of hundreds of meters, Trollstigen operates with an extraordinarily safe driving record. Local sources confirm no serious driving accidents since it opened, delivering 90 years without a fatal car crash. Mountains create the real danger. A large rock struck a car's hood in 2021, an avalanche damaged the cafe and road sections in 2022, and June 2024 brought a rock smashing through a car's passenger window, followed by 6 separate rockfalls over 10 days. Ole Jan Tønnesen, the county road manager, stated, "We've had so many incidents now that it's just not justifiable to keep the road open. We need to stop before someone gets seriously hurt or killed." The entire 2024 season passed with Trollstigen closed, marking the first full-season closure in its history. Emergency rockfall protection work cost approximately 50 million Norwegian kroner before July 11th. 2025 brought the reopening. 2 fatalities have occurred at Trollstigen, though neither involved vehicle accidents on the road itself. July 2016 brought a Ukrainian tourist bus overturning near Valldal after the road narrowed to 4.75 meters without warning, killing 1 unbelted passenger. A Lithuanian man in his 40s died in 2019 after falling from the Stigfoss Bridge while taking photographs. Norway has the lowest road fatality rate in the OECD at 1.6 deaths per 100,000 population, which translated to 87 total road deaths nationwide in 2024. Strict closures during any risk, vehicle limits and clear signage effectively neutralize what looks like extreme danger. Lake Garda, Italy. Strada della Fora, the road of the gorge, is carved into the cliff face of the Brasa stream gorge and located in Tremosina sul Garda. It connects the lakeside at Porto di Tremosine to the village of Pieve di Tremosine. Before this road existed, Tremosine sat completely isolated and accessible only on foot. Winston Churchill supposedly called it the eighth wonder of the world, a quote repeated everywhere, plastered across tourism websites and travel guides. No one has located the actual source. No letter, no speech, no interview recording documents Churchill saying this. One source places a Churchill visit in 1949, yet the quote itself remains unverified. What we know for certain, a correspondent from the Frankfurter Zeitung who attended the road's inauguration in 1913 called it the most beautiful road in the world. About 5.8 to 6 kilometers of gorge section run from roughly 65 meters at Lakeside to 423 meters at Pieve, creating a 358-meter gain. Construction began in 1908, using workers specialized in mine blasting. Arturo Cozzalio designed the road, described as a self-taught geologist and hydrologist, an engineer without a degree. May 18, 1913, brought Mayor Domenico Malesi to declare, "Today, Tremosine sees its vows crowned, and the isolation to which it was condemned for so many centuries removed. 4 workers died during construction, and their names appear on a plaque in the gorge. A 270-degree spiral loop near the Ristorante La Fora takes you through space in ways that seem impossible. Multiple tunnels carved directly through cliff rock create passages where vertical rock walls rise so high you cannot see the sky. James Bond made this road internationally famous. The opening car chase of Quantum of Solace, filmed in April 2008, put Daniel Craig's Bond in an Aston Martin DBS V12 battling 2 Alfa Romeo 159s through the gorge. December 2020 brought a closure due to ground failure. December 16, 2023 changed everything when several thousand cubic meters of rock collapsed near the Del Camino tunnel, keeping the road closed for 593 days. February 2026 finds the road closed for extraordinary maintenance with an expected reopening after March 13th. Romania, Făgăraș Mountains, approximately 90 kilometers of mountain road called the Transfăgărășan crosses the Făgăraș Mountains, the highest range in Romania's southern Carpathians. This road exists because of August 21, 1968, when Soviet-led forces invaded Czechoslovakia. Nicolae Ceausescu, Romania's communist dictator, watched this unfold and calculated his own vulnerability. Romania lacked any strategic north-south mountain crossing. If Soviet tanks came, Romanian forces couldn't deploy quickly through the Carpathians because river valleys could be easily blocked. Ceausescu's solution: build a road the Soviets never expected, one that could move an armored division of roughly 2,000 vehicles north through the mountains within 24 hours. Construction ran from 1970 to 1974, with 2 military teams starting from opposite sides. Young, untrained soldiers made up the primary workforce, using massive quantities of explosives. Workers earned up to 5 times the national average salary. 27 tight hairpin turns mark the road, along with 5 tunnels, including the 884 to 887 meter Balia Tunnel, 27 viaducts, and approximately 830 small bridges. Workers consumed approximately 6,000 tons of dynamite during construction. Official records claim 40 soldiers died, according to the Ministry of National Defense. Surviving workers and witnesses consistently put the true number far higher, running into the hundreds. July 1970 brought one documented incident where 7 soldiers died from rocks and rainwater while sheltering from a storm. Colonel Oyon Bratu, who commanded 175 soldiers during construction, told Radio Free Europe in 2024, "It was very tough. The biggest enemy was the cold and the instant changes in the weather." For decades, the Transfăgărășan remained relatively obscure. November 2009 changed that when Top Gear Series 14, Episode 1, aired to 6.7 million UK viewers. Jeremy Clarkson drove the road and declared, "We were wrong. This is better than the Stelvio. This is the best road in the world." That single statement triggered a massive tourism surge. 77 deaths per million inhabitants give Romania the highest road death rate in the European Union for 2024, compared to the EU average of 44 per million and Norway's 16. Bouches-du-Rhône, France. Between Cassis and La Ciotat, in Bouches-du-Rhône, Provence, the Corniche des Crêtes runs approximately 15 kilometers along the top of France's highest sea cliffs. Cap Canaille reaches 394 meters above the Mediterranean. Lonely Planet states it plainly. Cars have been blown over the 300-meter-high cliff. Strong winds force closures because gusts can literally push vehicles off the edge. Many sections offer little to no barriers, with cliff edges simply unprotected. Starting November 2024, Sundays bring road closures to motor vehicles, with shuttle buses operating instead. Also in France, Comble-Laval offers a construction story that defies belief. Through Comble-Laval in the Vercors Massif, the D76 connects Saint-Jean-en-Royans at 254 meters to Vassieux-en-Vercors via Col de la Machine at 1,144 meters. Built as a forestry road to transport timber, construction planning began in 1861 with completion around 1898. Workers hung from rope ladders on the vertical cliff face, drilled holes with crowbars, packed explosives inside, lit the fuse, then kicked off the rock wall to swing away on their ropes just before the explosion occurred. Nearly 40 years of standard operating procedure. Roughly 6 kilometers of cliff section feature 11 tunnels carved through sheer rock with 600-meter drops below. Philippe Join Lambert, a cycling guide, told Euronews, "The balcony roads in France's pre-Alp region of Vercors are considered amongst the most dangerous in the world. One road proved so dangerous, the government closed it forever." Les Grands Goulets, the Great Bottlenecks, stood as a 1.7-kilometer single-track road carved into sheer limestone cliffs above the Vernaison River Gorge. Built between 1844 and 1851, it served traffic for 156 years before permanent closure in 2005. 2 cars could barely pass. Sunlight never penetrated the gorge, creating permanently mossy, wet and slippery surfaces. Major collapses in 2000 and 2005 convinced the government they couldn't make it safe at any cost. 50 million euros funded a replacement tunnel, which opened in 2008. Today, the abandoned road sits unmaintained while nature reclaims it. Amalfi Coast Road, Italy. Strada Statale 163 Amalfitana, the Amalfi Coast Road, stretches 50.36 kilometers along the Tyrrhenian Sea coast in Campania. Giuseppe Bonaparte ordered it in 1807, with the opening arriving January 12, 1853. Horse-drawn carriages inspired this design, yet today it handles modern buses, cars and scooters on a UNESCO World Heritage coastline. ACIIS TAT data ranks the SS 163 as the fifth most dangerous road in the province of Salerno. Fatalities are rising in what officials call a clear counter-trend against Italy's improving national road safety numbers. 3 academics, Felici, Cassini and Corominas, published a study in 2012 analyzing 33.82 kilometers of the road. Their conclusion: although the estimated individual risk to life satisfies the adopted tolerable risk criterion, the computed societal risk cannot be tolerated. Individual risk remains acceptable. Societal risk, the total danger to the population using the road, cannot be tolerated. March 2025 brought a tourist bus with 23 passengers breaking through the road parapet near Tordigliano, stopped only by a stone wall. January 2026 brought a landslide in Maiori that split the road in two. Risk conditions don't trigger closures here. Norway's safety-first infrastructure doesn't exist. Built 170 years ago for carriages, it now handles thousands of modern vehicles daily on a road barely wide enough for 2 cars. Mallorca, Spain. Sacalobra on Mallorca descends 12.2 kilometers from 682 meters to sea level with roughly 26 hairpin bends, including a famous 270-degree tie-knot loop where the road passes under itself. It's a dead-end road where every driver must return back up the same way. Rogaland, Norway hosts the Lissabotn Road, which features 27 switchbacks with a maximum gradient of 16%. Real engineering marvel appears in the 1,100-meter corkscrew tunnel that spirals 340 degrees beneath a scree slope. Montenegro offers the Kotor Serpentine, which climbs more than 1,000 meters from sea level at Kotor to Njegući and Cetinje via 25 numbered 180-degree switchbacks. Many sections lack safety barriers entirely. Visual terror doesn't equal lethality in these roads. 0 confirmed fatal driving accidents mark Trollstigen's 90 years, while Norway's road death rate sits at 16 per million population, the lowest in the OECD. The Amalfi Coast Road carries documented and increasing fatalities, where Italy's rate reaches approximately 50 per million, while Romania hits 77, the highest in the European Union. Roads themselves don't create these differences, but rather the entire system surrounding them. Driving Trollstigen places you within a system that prioritizes safety above everything, while driving the Amalfi Coast puts you on a 170-year-old road built for horses now handling modern bus traffic with inadequate width and management systems that won't close during elevated risk. Road-specific annual accident statistics don't exist in publicly accessible form for any of these roads. European governments aggregate data at national, regional or provincial levels, not for individual mountain passes. Strada della Fora workers in 1908 used mine blasting to carve tunnels through solid cliff rock. 4 workers died, their names on a plaque. Combe Laval workers from 1861 to 1898 hung from ropes, drilled holes by hand, stuffed dynamite in, lit fuses, and hoped their rope swing carried them far enough away. Transfăgărășan presents the darkest story. Official records claim 40 soldiers died, while survivors put the number far higher, running into the hundreds. Young, untrained soldiers worked with massive quantities of explosives in one of Europe's harshest mountain environments. Trollstigen offers contrast. Built from 1928 to 1936, also by hand, also carved into cliff rock, detailed records document the construction teams, with foremen's names preserved in the hairpin bends themselves. Rockfall, landslide, or weather dangers face every one of these roads. Trollstigen's year-long closure in 2024 followed 6 rockfalls in 10 days. Strada della Fora sat closed for 593 days after several thousand cubic meters of rock collapsed. Les Grands Goulets earned permanent closure because France determined it could never achieve safety. We carve roads into cliff faces while mountains slowly reclaim them. Geology operates on a different timescale than human infrastructure. Roads stable for decades can experience catastrophic rockfall in seconds. Danger perception and actual danger often fail to align. Roads looking most terrifying operate within safety systems that render them statistically safe, while roads killing people often look merely challenging. National safety culture matters more than road design. Norway's 16 deaths per million versus Romania's 77 stems from enforcement, infrastructure investment, and fundamental commitment to road safety. Geological danger never disappears. Human engineering can mitigate it, manage it, work around it, yet we're building on dynamic systems that don't care about our schedules or convenience. These roads represent monuments to human determination and the belief we can build anywhere. Strada della Fora ended Tremozine's centuries of isolation. Transfăgărășan gave Ceausescu his military highway while accidentally creating one of Europe's great scenic drives. Trollstigen transformed a hiking trail into a road handling 1.1 million visitors annually. Yet they're also reminders of limits. Les Grands Goulets taught France that some places prove too dangerous to maintain regardless of cost. The Amalfi Coast's rising death toll teaches us beauty and danger coexist, where sometimes no amount of rock netting can make a 170-year-old carriage road safe for modern bus traffic. Most remain open as of 2026. You can drive Trollstigen assuming it's not winter and rockfall risk stays acceptable. You can navigate Strada della Fora when it's not closed for maintenance. You can tackle Transfăgărășan's hairpins between late June and October. Roads appearing safest may carry hidden risks. Roads appearing impossible may prove safer than they look. Mountains, wind, and geology don't care about human perceptions. They operate on their own terms, on their own timescale, and they teach the difference between perception and reality to anyone who underestimates them. These are 9 of Europe's most dangerous cliff-face roads. Some have killed dozens and possibly hundreds, while others maintain perfect safety records spanning nearly a century. All demonstrate that humans will build roads anywhere, whether wise or not. And the real story isn't about danger versus safety, but about human ambition confronting natural limits, engineering attempting to master geology, and our persistent refusal to accept that some places might be better left untouched.